Good morning, good afternoon, June 11th, 2022. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. Let me know as you check in to see if you can hear me, the audio is good, the video is also good as well. So let me know. This is an interesting topic that I wanted it to be more of a discussion base. So I've posted a link to join me here. Post it again here. Okay, so if you want to join, you can join me here. Stuff that we can take later. So I've always wondered, and many of you have as well. As you start your building journey, sometimes in a neighborhood that you are building, sometimes you go there, and then maybe sometimes there's somebody has already started building, but then for some reason you are able to start your process and be able to complete your entire building, and the person that has started many years before you did is still at the same state. And I always wonder what happened, to get into some of ideas, because I know when we all start building, the goal is to finish, right? Is to finish, but sometimes some people do, some people don't. So, and I have some ideas of, and then I know you have some ideas about some of the reasons why some people are not able to finish, and it's not always their fault. Sometimes things do happen. So I wanted to share that with you, and then if you want to join me here, you can. And if you're listening in there, let me know whether you can hear me. If I can get a feedback back, that would be appreciated. And don't be shy to check in. So one of the things we all know, as you are building, is that it can be, if especially if you want to build well, there's a cost to it, um, and then there's also some level of frustration. Even if you are not trying to build well, there's some little bit of frustration, depending on a series of circumstances, right? And I think the frustration comes in the two part. One would be when something dishonest is going on, or sometimes maybe the inability to execute to your standard, right? To one standard, and those are the things that leads to some of the frustration that you and I do face. But on the other hand, too, is some people are able to continue steadfast, and they still are able to break through all the other challenges to get things done. And so my goal is, I remember when I started a Kaswa build, there were homes that were in the neighborhood that, are still in existence. 10 years later, nothing significantly has been done to it. And I always wondered, and sometimes I hear stories of, something, some, medical issues or stuff like that, or maybe sometimes family dispute, and the person have decided not to continue with the build. And so there's all challenges we all face. They may be different for everybody. And so sometimes, you may feel like your situation is unique to you. And when you don't have the support to overcome that stumbling block, sometimes you can begin to lose your excitement, lose the desire, and then eventually, the motivation as well, right? And then either you postpone it to a long time before you continue, or the buildings just stay stagnant. We see business buildings that have been stagnant for 5 to 10 years, or sometimes more, collecting mold and algae on them, and one's wonder, what happened. And I always wondered that, um, and so I'm curious. Curious to what is it that allows some people to continue regardless of whatever that is going on, and why others come to a halt. So anyway, if you are there, you can hear me. Let me know. So then, because sometimes my mic be acting up. So anyway, so yeah, so I know for a fact, the money aspect can be challenging. How to aggregate the money, how to save, how to attack these projects, and also like how to sometimes deal with finding the right contractor, right, to be able to handle the project for you and reduce, a level of stress and stuff. And I know, some people have advocated this, and I think this has been going on for many, many years. About maybe this website that people can add, kind of like Angie's List. People can add qualified and competent, trustworthy artisans over there. It would be a good idea for access. And I've been approached by that, and I think people also put in that information. I'll probably say other people also have been approached by that. But I also think too, some of the issues, I don't think anybody has come up with something robust, kind of like Angie's List in Ghana or Africa, at least to my knowledge, is because sometimes, like, listen, you put all that information in there and you charge a fee, because listen, you got to host things, you got to update things, you got to answer calls, you got to answer questions. All this takes time and energy. Then they feel like our people may not patronize that, so they don't put that energy towards that. Elena, thank you. Good afternoon. Let me know. Can you hear me? Is the voice audio okay? Okay. So you have that aspect, and so because we don't have one stop to go and find quality, reliable, and trustworthy artisans. So then what happens is, everybody's taking chances, right? And it works for some. It works okay for other people, and then for other people, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't at all, and that kinds of stuff. So that is one of the challenges, right? That's one of the challenges that we take. It's great. I can hear you very clear. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So that is one of the challenges that we face when we are building, is to able to find the right people to deliver and stuff like that. So if you have that, that's great. If you don't, it can be problematic. So another challenge too, I see that people end up losing the motivation and because it's distraction, right? You trying to build, but then you are surrounded by friends who have nothing to do in Africa. And sometimes people will are not strong and they get pulled into, and they advise you against that, um, for whatever they're able to steal that dream. And the next thing you know, you think you postponed it like 5 years, 10 years. Next thing you know, 15, 20 years go by, and you get a little bit older and you decide, what, to the heck, it's like, I'll just stay here and maybe I might visit and that kinds of stuff. That happens, right? So you do have a component of that. Now you can throw in your questions if you're out there, or anything related to business and Ghana, building in Ghana, buying land and that kinds of stuff. Okay, so does do happen. I've seen that also happen as well. And then sometimes the process, or the whole process is tedious, and you do get burnt out, and so you have to regroup. Sometimes you have to you know get away a little bit and then re-energize yourself and come back. So it's mental, it's emotional, it's financial, is all aspect of that, right? And so all those things are very, 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 very important to be able to have support units, stuff like that. Get good communication with your team, and just be driven and be focused, and in your desire to accomplish whether it's a business or that dream or dream home, regardless of any um, domestic, foreign interference. Uh, issues, dramas, and stuff like that. You are determined that you are going to see it through. And but unfortunately, sometimes that's not everybody able to deal with that. And sometimes too, the political condition in a particular country might be something that might push you back. I think you should always consider that. It's very, very important. Stability is very, very important. Safety is very, very important. Economic potential and its viableness is also very, very important. So all those things comes doing the quality research and then making that happen, as well. And then there are some people who don't care. They'll do regardless. They'll just go there and grind it and make it work. Some people can do it. They can operate that way because they have an experience of doing that. But I think for most people, it's just being having a good plan and then try to execute it and have people to help us execute. So the challenges, do happens whether sometimes it is internal, which will be you and your domestic partner, disagreement, or maybe it could be size, different type of layout, um, location based. Do it in my hometown, do it here, and that kinds of stuff. And even the cost sometimes also have these challenges. But when you feel like you're not alone, you have other people who are also, experiencing similar. You can talk it over and share ideas. I think that becomes more productive, and stuff like that. So I think that is very, 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 very important, because my goal is to reduce the number of uncompleted building. I think it's about 25% right now. So my goal is to give you some of the tips that will help you. That's helped me, that I've learned also from others, to move my journey along and be able to navigate around price hike issues and all that kinds of stuff. And so I think that's really, really important, because the goal is to build something great, something wonderful, and you don't have to use every money that you have and stuff like that. So that's the goal, to be efficient, right? So efficiency is good. So we advocate, for good layout, good. It takes you about a year to do your blueprint and figure everything out, and you change and have some ideas. And even when you are building on the ground, you're moving things around at the right time, and having a good picture of exactly what you want to execute. So and you have to look at the pros and cons of everything. When you do a specific type of roofing, you have to look at the pros and cons of that. When you do a specific type of layout, you have to look at that, because that will give you some ideas how to navigate around some of these things, so that you build something. Like right now, flooding, it's a big issue in Ghana right now. I think this is the most flood I've seen. I mean, it has rained heavily, and generally places that do not experience flood for the first time have been it has become an issue on that. So obviously that should be a factor. Building orientation, and all those things matters, right? Matters. So you don't have to. You can enjoy the breeze, use the breeze, build into the breeze, and that kind of stuff. So then that will cut back on your AC usage and a bunch of stuff. So tips here and there to always make it efficient and challenge yourself to build something unique that is different from everybody else. I believe we can all do that. We can execute that as well. Okay. So now let me know if you have some questions. All right. Other than that, we're gonna keep it a little bit brief if you're not asking questions. Okay. So that is important. So good people finish, and sometimes good people don't finish, and sometimes not always their fault. Things do happen. So the goal is just figure these things out soon, and learn from people, and that have gone a little bit further, and then you can better You listen. You reap the benefit of people that have gone further. They make all the mistakes. Um, if you allow yourself to, so you can do something better and make better decisions and choices in that aspect. Okay, so the challenges are many. There are many. Some are easier to deal with. Some are moderate. Some are very very difficult. To deal with. And so, but I believe there is a solution to almost everything. So it is very important, right? So don't let the challenge overcome the dream. The flame must always be lit and burned. And high people talk to people. The thing in Africa, here's a tip. And I know a lot of people trying to go around this is that usually for quality and to some degree trustworthiness, you will pay a little bit more. Um, for that. Africa Gen X, is good. I hope you are getting some sun in Seattle. I'm due for a visit. Maybe not this fall. If I don't do this fall, then I'll do maybe spring next year. Seattle. Okay. Um, so I've not been hired yet. I've spoken to a couple of about two people who have projects. Um, I think maybe three. The third person was actually looking at the land, and I think we looked at the document and all that stuff. But we have not been officially hired to do any project in Asebo for now. We have not. So, are you building over there? Yes. So I remember, and I think I saw. I think this probably came out when other YouTubers were making videos about that. They're Sable land for free. Um, my thoughts. My thoughts is that it's just this is just me. Anything that have a free on it, I get a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not saying nothing can be free, but experience shows me that you know we have to look closely. And when it comes to land, I never trust words. I just look at a document. What is it that the document is saying? And if the document is neutral, sometimes they write the indenture to favor them a little bit. That's okay. But sometimes also they write indenture to just basically makes it so wide open for all kinds of stuff that could happen, right? So I'm looking at, when we acquire these assets, I'm looking at maybe securing it in a way that the future, future children or whatever, whoever inherit that property, is not going to be doing with a series of litigation. So I scrutinize the indenture very, very well. I have a couple of people sometimes look at it as well, and that's for any land document. And to go back, and sometimes we also have our language in there saying we don't like the way things are written because it's so open and stuff like that. So to me, that's what is important, than the free part. Sure, sure, yes. Keep me updated. Stuff. I'm thinking about going December, but I'm not sure yet. So yeah, keep me in the loop. Let me know how it goes. I've in the past I've looked at land for people. And I mean and I've told them, listen, I'll tell you the honest truth. And I've told people, I said, listen, this indenture is just wild. you have no protection in that, and people have backed out by, even though they pay a little bit money up front, they have backed out because it's all about your interest. So it's all about your interest. Whether you are buying these lands or is being given for free, you want to make sure that there's nothing in that language that another descendant may come and try to retroactively go back and try to you know come up with some kind of stuff. So to me, those things are very, very, very important. Okay, so but let me know. Leslie, thanks you for joining us. So we are talking about some of the challenges. So you guys, I have a link here if you guys want to join me here about the building process or just even doing business in Africa per se, and primarily in Ghana, and some of the stuff that people are going through, because some people are able to overcome these things and others are struggling a little bit. So if we can talk about it, um, um, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, we do have a couple of places. So you can send me an email, and then we can talk about what region um, that you may be interested in, and how far you want to be away from the city. Talk about the details a little bit. Okay. Yep. So it's very, very important, that we deal with some of these challenges because sometimes you can see them coming and then you can avoid them, right? But also too is some people, um, because even when I look at Ghana, there are certain things I can deal with. I am willing to deal with it, and there's certain things I do not want to deal with it, and I can't deal with it. So that is different. And the ones that I can't deal with because I don't want to deal with that. And some people, sometimes you have to overcome that to make progress, right? So you don't know, um that is sometimes part of the process. Okay. So it's very, very important. But the challenges do exist. Anybody that tells you otherwise, I don't know why they will promote that. They do exist, especially for us too, who've left the continent. We spend most of our adult lives outside, or we were born outside the continent, or we spend half of our adult life here. You know, it's not the same place as you left, right? And so it's about how we navigate, because definitely, hopefully, your mentality changed when you left. And so it's about how you're going to navigate and still be productive and be successful in whatever that you are going to do. And one of the thing in that part of the world is, if you want things done faster, quicker, quality, reliable, and stuff like that, you will pay a little bit more. Unfortunately, that is the way it is. Um, People just don't do the job because they hired to do the job. Sometimes you still have to incentivize them. That is the nature of the beast sometimes. And stuff like that. So it's better just to find the right team and pay them once, and then have them deliver for you as well, and take the burden and the headache and a lot of the stress. So I think with my project, I probably take about 50% of the stress, which is because I am actually making a lot of decisions in terms of the sequence, in terms of what I want. And so sometimes when you're not on the ground, it can be a little bit challenging. But I know once I make the decisions, once I make those decisions, the guys can execute. So that I don't have to worry about that extremely. But it's just making sure that you're making, because I don't want to waste a cent as well. So making sure that decisions are being done at the right time, and allow them to also input. Like, this morning, 2 a.m., I got a phone call from my electrician about some few things, but I stay up and we spoke for 30 minutes. I say, yep, no, this way, stuff like that. So I have an open conversation, and they can give you some ideas as well. So, okay. So don't let the challenges stop you. Just find the right people to help you overcome it. Sometimes they charge a fee, which is fair. Knowledge is not free. The best things in life are not free. They have value attached to them. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But find somebody is doing the same thing, have the same mindset, and just deal with them. Okay. So unless we have questions, we're gonna keep it brief. And I'm still building. I haven't put out some videos yet. So the guys are working. They'll be working for the next month or so, and then I'm going to take a break. So I'm doing my roof stuff. Um, and so what I'm trying to do is, and I always say that when you watch somebody's video, you watch somebody's home, who's building or who has finished, it gives you advantage because you can see certain things and you can do it better or do it differently, right? And so do watch the building series. Um, or sometimes you can watch something and duplicate. And so there's a couple of things that I'm doing that a lot of people are not doing yet, or to that extent. But I'm waiting for the execution, and then I'll put a video out and stuff, and the reasoning behind some of those things. Because we have to the houses, they got to be better every year, right? At least every 5 years we want better houses than before. So it's about improving and challenging yourself and getting a team that understand these things. All right. So you don't have to do it the same way just because everybody's building like that. I think there's more improvement. We can build better. We can build much more efficient. Um, I'm trying to challenge myself. I'm trying to do something on one plot. I'm trying to prove that one plot is adequate for indoor and outdoor space with the right design, and stuff like so. So I'm working on that, and stuff like that. So, but I'll post video one at least a video in maybe a week or two or something like that, just to get a motivation going. But I enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Except the money part sometimes, but it is what it is. And then after that, you can live the life and enjoy the hard work that you have earned and earn it. Earn it is sweeter when you earn it. It's much more sweeter, than being given to you than you earn it. So, other than that, with Salif, thank you for joining me. We're gonna wrap it up in a minute. So, keep building, keep pushing, keep the dream alive. Find people that's gonna help you. Obviously, we're one of them. You can reach us at our website if you have any questions how to navigate around this stuff. And because it's a little bit tricky down there, and it's all about relationships and connections, right? It's all about relationships and connections. The longest break you took while building? So the longest break I think will be 8 months. So the way I do it is that is why I encourage you guys to buy the building guidelines. So what I do is that sometimes I do at least one major project and a minor project, or two minor to three minor projects. So what I consider minor project would be roughly something the cost of about less than, for me, less than maybe $5,000 or $4,000 per project. For me, I consider that as a minor project for me. And so I do two to three a year. And sometimes I do a bigger project. Bigger project to me would be $10,000 and above. And I do a couple of those. and then you take a break, and then you live your life a little bit, and you save and stuff like that. So I find that is better that way than doing the monthly stuff, unless the monthly you put in like thousands of dollars or pounds and stuff like that, or euros to send. It's better to aggregate the money and do these projects simultaneously, because you do save a little bit tip on the labor aspect, because they don't have to be going all the time. So when they're already there, they can do other things. So I like that method. And it also feels like you are not building every month. Your money is going every that kinds of stuff, right? And so that is what I do. So I do like, because this year I've done a ton of major project this year, a ton. Um, and so I'm still doing more, but then by end of July I'll take a break, and I may not do anything to either December or spring, or the latest being in the summer, when most of the time in Ghana somehow, and then I do that stuff. So take your time. Take your time. It's like you can do a year. You can do a year break. I've seen people do two projects, two big projects, and then they take a year to regroup. That is fine. It's going to take you a couple of years. That is fine. Take your time. Don't try to kill yourself to build this house. You're obviously building it faster. You save more money than later than extending it, but also have time. Live your life a little bit in the process. Okay. So, hi, Vive. Thank you for joining. Hope all is well, and stuff like that. So basically, that's what it is. Just, just take your time and build, and use the guidelines and follow through. Helps. It really helps. Um, yes, yes. I got to the point. I think I got banned by everything. So, Bridget, send me an email. I will send you a link to this service that I use. They're very good. Um, okay. So yes, but I went through everything, like, and I'll listen. Yeah, I got to. I remember those days. We got to the point I couldn't. It was very difficult, but there's other service you can use. So it does happen. Um, yeah, it's annoying, but there's a way you can do that. So send me an email, and then I'll send you a link, and it's efficient. It is best. It's a burst. And then you get a highest exchange rate, and it's very secure. Okay. Um, I don't want to promote them here publicly, but yes. So you can do that, and if you have dollar account, you can actually send it to your dollar account in Ghana as well, or whatever. If you have euro account, whatever, or pound sterling, you can do that. So it doesn't have to. You don't have to always send it to receive it in CD. So shoot me an email, and then I'll send you the link, and you can sign up, and then okay. So I use that too much. All right. So don't let the MoneyGram and those people wasting, break your back for trying to, do something, legitimate. And meanwhile, the fraud people are able to send the money in and out. All right. So don't let that frustrate you. It's part of the process. Okay. So that's that. That's that as well. And sometimes too, because sometimes, people. So this is not a financial advice. Financial advice. What I'm about to say. There's a tendency that people think that you really need to have a local account when you're in Ghana to actually be able to operate. Um, you don't have to. Um, you can, because there's so many ways. You can get money to yourself when you need. Some are minutes. Some are, if it lasts a month, that could be like 2 to 3 days. Because sometimes too you got to think about the inflation aspect on the city, and so if your money's in a city account, compared to using euros, dollar, and stuff like that, you have to look at those things. It might look minimum, but if it's tens of thousands of dollars or pound sterling or Europe, actually it's significant. So how you are keeping your money, where you are keeping your money, is really, really important, and that kinds of stuff. So those are stuff that we talk about, in consultation. What is it that you can? It's all about being efficient. You gotta the old days of beating our head to the ground to make money. We want to go away from that. We want to use our brain a little bit, stuff like that. So yes, thank you. Yep. So I think it will help. I think it's great. It was about 6 people we put that thing together for. Took us about 3 months. I still use them. It's a sequence, man. It's a sequence. It's efficient. Trust me, because the plumbers were involved, the electricians were involved. When we did this, the builders were involved when we put this together, because it's a lot of waste. People do a lot of waste when they are building, right? And that's money that you are going to be paying for. These artisans have an old method of doing things, and unless you change that, some of the things doesn't make sense. At when do we do things? It really doesn't. How many? I still see this. I still see this. How many doors, nice doors, elegant doors that you've seen POP, mortar and all kinds of stuff in the door. It just destroy the door. Um, and you see that often. You see POP on the glass and in the rails, and all this stuff is just a mess. And so what we put together is to avoid all that kinds of stuff. You're not destroying things as you are going, because things are coming in methodically at the right time. So one thing doesn't damage a previous thing. And so I think the building guide is a must, for anybody that is about to build, and even people that are building. I still see people doing wiring at the wrong time. People steal it. People putting lights at the wrong time. People are doing tiling at the wrong time. People are doing ceiling work at the wrong time, putting AC at the wrong time. So all those things, and people have done plastering, and you are cracking the wall again. So the goal is to avoid all of that, right? All of that. Okay. Where in Florida are you? Yes, yes, yes. Been to, what is it? Um, I think I'm overdue to go to Florida. I was in, forgot his place. It was a resort. I'll come back to that. Yes. Okay. Oh, Bridget, you've used that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been, it has been. And every now and then I looked at it to see whether something has changed so I can, update it and then put it out there. I wish I had it when I was doing Kaswa, man. Man, we were doing all kinds of stuff, man. I remember, like, we did some step up. We got to demo the whole thing, man. It was a mess. It was a mess. So having a guideline, and I also think too, it allow you, the payer, you, the owner, to actually control the project, because you know what is coming next, right? And so you are dictating, you feel somehow empowered and in control about the project that somebody's building for you. Other than that, you are the mercy of, they decide what they want to do. And sometimes, to be honest, what they are pushing is not the next step, because but they want to make the money. I mean, they want to get a job and make the money. So they are putting all these projects over there, which is going to interfere with certain things. And on this project, I am building in a way to solve a bunch of issues that people are having now, that when I was talking to the specialist, they don't do it that way. But then we talked it through, and I said, okay, we do it this way. Wouldn't it be better? Because people that are doing this way, like, people like, so I'm talking primarily on the electrical, people in electrical wiring are being stolen and all this stuff. I said, listen, because this is what is going on. I said, okay, how about we do it this way? And he said, but we don't do it this way. So he thought about 3 days, and he said, it makes sense. And I said, yeah, we do it this way. By the time we do the electrical, they can't steal them, right? So you take problems and you create solutions for your build. Okay, it's very important. So I am solving a lot of stuff that is coming up, right? Yes, yes. I'll link up to you when I hit Seattle. Usually, some I'll come around downtown or this place, Kirkland. I have a friend in Kirkland who just bought a nice car that I want to test. Uh, and so I will let you know as I head that way. Yes, we are trying to make it standard. We are. Um, I think there should be something, there should be a way of how people should build. I think so because it's going to cost you. It will cost you. I'm telling you, man. Is there's a lot of things that I don't want to say because I don't want to, to some people it might set them back, but it does cost you when people are just building anyhow and doing things anyhow, and you will pay. And there's no need for that, right? You can take that money and do certain things, right? Everybody's paying now for the flooding issues when we have been screaming that elevate that foundation, elevate. We've been screaming that. We've been screaming that. And even, even some of the builders don't even know how they're gonna even elevate the foundation. Um, and so we've been saying that for a long time. Now this year, people are paying. People's homes are flooded, businesses are flooded. So we are trying to get a message out there. It's KK. I hope you're good. You've been missing. I agree. Yes, yes, yes. You know what they say, right? If you want to get something done, give it to a busy person because most of the time, they're very good at time management, right? Most of the time. Okay. So so yeah, so let's make it happen. Oh, yes. I was in Fort Myers. Fort Myers. Fort Myers. It came to my mind. I was in Fort Myers. Yes. For 4 days. I liked it. It was really good. Okay. All right. Yes. All right. All right. So other than that, man, time flies. So the challenges are part of the process. I think when you overcome them and you succeed, it makes it more meaningful. It makes it more appreciative. Man, I am so glad my parents didn't give me a house. I am so glad. Because it makes me appreciate and value the hard work of what it takes to actually get these things done. And that's why I enjoy it to the maximum, because it was sweat equity. And the night, like especially tonight, this morning, almost 2 o'clock, talking to my electrician for 30 minutes, could have been sleeping, but he called me. When they call, I pick up because chances they're on the site, time difference. And so they need a response by doing that stuff. So when I'm done, I'll get to sleep in, you know. So it's good. It's good that way. Okay. No, you'll be reaching me. So when you send the emails, it comes straight to me. Um, so I'll send you. Okay, here's the email. I'll put it here. Okay. So that's the email. Royal Consulting Solutions at gmail.com. So that's me. It comes to me. Pretty much I do answer same day or the next day max. So if you do send an email and you haven't heard from me in 3 days, probably I never got it. Okay, I'll respond to that. And sometime if I need to go check up on something, I'll respond and let you know that I'm trying to get the information for you. Okay. Other than that, thank you everyone for joining in. You know how to reach me. That's our website. Let's stay focused. Let's stay energized and continue making this dream a reality. And then after that, we can just enjoy to the fullest. Okay. Have a great weekend. And keep the dream alive. Okay.